All right, Glenn's down here today. Glenn, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Today is May 2nd, so we just found out that Gibson filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Good idea.
Good idea for them.
Yeah, they got hit with a lawsuit that was that was a smart business idea to shut that bankruptcy, bring the bankruptcy on and shoot. They just got sued for what, 50 mil?
Yeah.
Gotta shut that down quick. They got enough problems going on. So it's like, yeah, it was sensible for them. This is one of the coolest guitars on the planet. I own it. It's mine.
Okay.
And this is the guitar that I play. Out of all the Les Pauls that I've got, I play this one, and with reason. It's one of the guitars that was built by Kris Derrig. However, it's not one of the 59 replicas. This guitar...
All right, slow down a minute. Kris Derrig.
Kris Derrig built custom guitars. He died of cancer. Really cool guy, but he built 12 guitars that were 59 replicas.
Okay.
This guitar was built by him. 59 tailpiece. If you look at that bridge, ABR1, brass saddles. That's a 1959 bridge. These knobs I put on because the knobs when I got it were cracked. These are, you know, aged 1960 knobs, and I'll explain why I put those on it. These are 1959 PAFs. They sound absolutely incredible. Old growth wood. That flame top is just gorgeous, as you can see.
What year did he build this guitar?
You know, I don't know what year it was
10,
built.
15, 20 years ago?
Oh God, more than that. He died late 80s.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This was one of the ones he did just after he left Atlanta. It's nice. It's got a thinner neck profile than his 59 replicas. Cost bone nut, Grover bottleneck tuners. The one thing you'll notice on this, neat finish checking all over it if you look.
Here, let's set it up on the top of the case here, and then I can get in, because everybody wants to see this stuff up close.
Yeah, and if you get into the finish, you can see the finish checking that's on it. I mean, the guitar is gorgeous. It's a nice little Gibson Les Paul. It says Gibson on the top, but truly, it's not a Gibson.
Right, right.
There's no serial number on that guitar.
Uh-huh.
That is not a Gibson. It's a replica, or a copy, or a fake. Well, let's call it a fake. I like that word because people go, "What kind of guitar you play?" I play a fake Les Paul.
Okay.
Yeah, but the fake Les Paul, those 59
so this
PAFs actually
wasn't made in China like the Gibsons that we see
This guitar
floating around.
was handmade, Honduran mahogany. That maple cap, as you can see, is just gorgeous. Got a few marks on it. It's like aged.
Right.
If you look at the headstock, he's not really cracked it out like, you know.
Where was his
some of
shop
these guys
at?
do. You know, he started building them in Atlanta, and then he went out to L.A., and he was restoring his Pontiac out back at Jim Foote's shop. And he would go in and grab 59 parts off of the wall, and of course Jim Foote would be standing there going, "Hey, somebody's got to pay for that." This one was built like a 1960 profile neck, so it's probably one of the only ones he built that way. And then he started building some really high-end replicas of the 59s. But this guitar is just resonant. It just sounds and plays good. And I got to be honest with you, I've got a Les Pauls. You know that. I've got more Les Pauls than I need. Guess what? This is the one I'll play. It's actually thinner than a Les Paul.
Okay. What would you guess that the weight is?
7 pounds.
Wow.
7 pounds flat.
Because nowadays, people are trying to get them 9 pounds or less.
Well, it's in the wood. This old wood has dried a lot better, so there's less moisture, less weight. A 59 Les Paul. I see guys, 59 Les Pauls, they're heavy. No, they're not. They're light.
What'd you say the wood was?
This is Honduran mahogany.
Honduran mahogany.
Yeah, it's nice. I like the way the finish checking. You know, it's just beautiful. It was done, you know, most likely this was done in the 70s, I would say. But it's just, I got to be honest with you. You know, everybody chases tone. I do. Everybody else does. 8.3, 7.4, and those are 1959 PAFs. They do sound good. Yeah, I mean, all the hardware.
So can I ask you about pricing? Like, what do you think this thing is called? Okay, now if you parted it out.
If I parted it out, it would be worth a lot of money. Together, it would be worth, you know, quite a bit of money. It would be over 10 grand.
Over 10 grand, because again, the pickups.
PAFs. Patent
From
applied for,
1959. That's the year that,
And here's
that's the
the
most
trick.
desirable year out there, isn't it?
Yeah, and with PAFs, I see a lot of the low winds, you know, 7.3 or 7.4, 7.5, 7.4, 7.2, 8.3 at the bridge, 7.4 at the neck. That's the holy grail for PAFs right there. If you ask me, because you want a little
So
more
they're
punch
kind
at
of
the
hot, a
bridge.
little more gain to
A little hotter at the bridge, a little lighter at the neck, you know, it's just definitely that's this combination you want. Those PAFs will never leave me. If I sold this guitar, I'd have a hard time
So
getting
when
another
they
set of PAFs.
wound those pickups in 1959, that was kind of the low-speed wind, didn't it?
Well, it was wound by hand.
They did it by
You
hand
had a guy
back
with a
then.
pedal, and he's pushing his pedal to make the winder go around, and he's guiding that wire on by hand.
Okay.
1965, they went with a machine winder with a counter that tells how many winds are on the coil, and each pickup that's when they started the T-tops, they were all at 7.4. All the coils were exactly the same amount of wire, the same load. In the 50s, they wound it by hand, and I think I put 5,000 winds on it. Could have been 4,000. I think I put 6,000, and
They
it was
just eyeballed
randomly
it.
done.
I
Each
gotcha.
coil was random.
Okay.
So you would get pickups ranging from 7.4 all the way up to 9K in the 50s. I actually bought a PAF one time because the guy said, I think it's fake, it's 8K. I'll buy it. It wasn't fake, it
So
was nice.
when he built this guitar, did Gibson give him like a cease and desist to say, "Hey man,
I'm
you
going to tell
gotta
you,
stop doing that"?
between Kris Derrig, I don't think they really got on Kris because he got cancer and he died pretty quick. Now there's the other fellow would be Max. I'm not going to say any names, but
Max,
there was a couple of
let me
guys that were
guess,
building him and
Max.
putting Gibson on, and I think at first, here's my views, and this might be my opinion. I wasn't there. But I think Gibson left them alone because their guitar was selling for $3,000 and his guitar was selling for $18,000. That guy ain't going nowhere. He's a clown.
Okay.
He wasn't a clown. He built, I believe,
But because he charged so much for one of his guitars,
I
Gibson
think they let
didn't
it
feel
slide
threatened.
and laughed him off.
They didn't
but
feel threatened.
I think I've heard guys say, "Oh, I've got one with a COA." You really think he's going to copy Gibson, put their logo on the top, and sign something that he's the guy that built it? I don't think so. But if you want a Max, I happen to know it as a couple. This is a Derrig. Kris was this good-hearted guy that was just trying to turn his Pontiac Tempest into a GTO. And he was doing it, and he was living out back at Jim Foote's, but he could build guitars. And he built some 59 replicas, Slash used one for the Sweet Child of Mine, Appetite for Destruction. Slash used a Max and a Derrig on that album. They're hard to come by. They're hard to come by. He did, Derrig did 12
So on the
59
Appetite
replicas.
for Destruction album, those weren't actually built by Gibson guitars that Slash
Exactly,
used.
exactly. If you watch that video, and there's Slash doing that video, black and white, and calling it "So Sweet Child of Mine." Look at that beautiful 59 Les Paul. That 59 Les Paul is a Kris Derrig.
How about that?
And the Derricks were so
you learn
good.
something new every
The
day.
Derricks were so good that Max Barnett built a copy.
You said his name,
of
Max Barnett.
Built a copy of the Derrig Appetite guitar. There's one. It's up on Reverb right now. A Max Appetite guitar. Well, the Appetite guitar was a Derrig. So Max
that
made a
up,
copy
guys.
of a copy. That'll tell you
Reverb.
how good Derriggs are. Max made a copy of a Derrig. That's crazy. Beautiful top on that one. It's gorgeous. Fat, chunky neck. But I got to be honest with you. This one here, and I got 59 Les Pauls. I got R9s. I've got ROs. This neck, this was in a buddy of mine's shop. And he had bought it. And he wanted all the money for it. And then he found out that the guy that sold it to him had stuck a set of 57 Classics in it and ripped the PAFs out. So he kind of got burned, I guess. And he sold it to me. The reason I bought it, I had that set of PAFs to drop back in it.
Oh, I see.
I thought, you know what, that would be a cool guitar. And then I started playing it, which was the worst thing I could do. Done. It's over. I'm keeping it. Unless somebody's got the money, somebody's going to have to reach deep in the pocket to get this guitar. It's that good. And it's got blemishes on it, in the paint
That
here,
doesn't hurt.
you know.
That don't hurt anything.
No, I love it. You know, it's got some marks on the back and stuff. Look at that finish check. Isn't that crazy? If you can see it in the camera, I'll try and... It's just checked all the way throughout. It's nice. This is a rockin' SOB that, imagine picking up a Les Paul that feel that neck. It plays nice, fast little neck, low action, plays like a dream, weighs 7 pounds. It's a Les Paul with PAFs. You know what that is?
7 pounds.
Yeah. Well, here, hold the weight.
Crazy.
Let's pick it up. It's
Hey, that's nice and light.
Yeah, it's a great guitar. I love this thing. And it rocks. For those of people that say, these pickups sound just like PAFs. No, they don't. PAFs, if you get the right set, you're good. 8.3, 7.4, holy grail to me. That's the way I want my guitar. Beautiful piece.
Okay, so let me ask you a few questions. Because Gibson filed bankruptcy, what do you think we're going to see out of Gibson now in the next year to two?
I hate making predictions, okay? But back in the 90s, I did a radio show, and I said within the next 15, 20 years, people are going to be surfing the internet on a phone, and people were calling in thinking I was crazy. Maybe I'm right this time, but I think you're going to see investors take over Gibson, and I think you're going to see the end of everything made in America. I don't think they can survive, even if they make America great again. I think Gibson's going to have to reach out to whatever they can to stay afloat right now. They're in serious trouble. One of, without mentioning names, one of their biggest creditors is probably going to go belly up themselves, and Gibson loses that, and it's a mess. It's mismanaged.
So do you think these pre-2018 bankruptcy Gibsons are going to go up in value?
You're going to have the purists that say pre-2018 is the way to go. Yeah. Just like the Fender guys, pre-CBS is the way to go.
Exactly. That's why I'm asking
Even with Gibson,
these questions.
none of the Norland guitars are any good. Really? I've got a few Norlands that rock. You're going to have the purists that say those pre-2018s are the ones, don't buy the new ones. Well, here's what I got to say for those people. Go buy a 59 Les Paul or shut up, because that's the best one. Do we want to have that mentality? No. I think they'll build some good guitars. I think the quality's going to have to suffer while they bring it out, which will be a mistake on their part. I think the only way they're going to come out of this is to build the best guitar again and build a guitar that everybody wants. Get rid of all these other brands that they have, that they've acquired, and just concentrate once again on building a few good guitars. Did you see that funky looking new design?
But I mean, they own Epiphone, but Epiphone makes them money.
Epiphone is one of the only divisions they're going to keep.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other brands that they bought and acquired and software companies that needs to go. They need to streamline it, get back to building guitars.
Yeah, what about Kramer? What are they going to do with Kramer?
You know, I'm going to be honest with you. Kramer's were good in the 70s. I really liked the 79 6000G with the aluminum neck, that with the preamp and the modules. That was a great Kramer. Now I see, you know, Kramer's in the 80s and late 80s I liked, but it's gone through changes. And Gibson, what did they do with the Kramer? Hey, we got to take production overseas. It suffered. When a Kramer was made in Neptune, New Jersey, it was a crazy good guitar. After that, what are you getting? You know, you're getting a company that's saying, we need to increase the profits. I've been on that staff table once a month where the CEO wants nothing but more profits, and you're going to give a projection of what you're going to make next month. Companies run on fantasy, actually, because next month that prediction that you made is now reality, and the CEO wants to know why you didn't make those numbers. So companies are actually based on projections and fantasy. Gibson now has to look at reality. We need to build the best guitar in the world again, and we need to bring back that customer confidence and sell Les Pauls and sell SGs, and they're going to keep Epiphone because they need a lower brand, but you don't need 10 lower brands. So I think brands like Kramer are probably going to get bought by somebody else, or they'll sell it off, and that's just the way it's going to be. They can't sustain everything.
Let me ask you, what do you think Gibson's #1 biggest issue is that put them into bankruptcy? What was it buying all those other companies that weren't profitable, or quality control?
When companies were going down, Gibson scooped them up, or whether they thought they were scooping up the competition or they're going to make a big profit. It was, I want to buy everything. And they didn't concentrate on management and on building the best guitar. I've seen some Gibsons that were questionable. the production guitars now, in 2015, with the adjustable nut and that ugly ass logo, what were they thinking? We've got a guitar that's been out there for 60, 50, 60 years that everybody loves. Now we're going to start changing it. The automatic tuners. People would buy those guitars and call me up and say, Glenn, can you change these tuners for me? And we would tune them. Change them up.
Brazilian rosewood on the fretboard?
Yeah.
So what if you were to put this in on an airplane?
This wouldn't get on an airplane going to another country without all the paperwork. I wouldn't even take the chance of losing this guitar.
No chance you'd put this thing on an airplane, huh?
You know what? I don't want to put myself on an airplane anymore. I hate taking my shoes off. As I get older, it's a labor of love reaching my feet, you know? But I got to be honest with you, I don't even think about this guitar going out of the house anywhere. I got historic R9s I can do that with, you know? This guitar, believe me, if you play it and hear it, if you actually hear it, you go, holy
I'm going to plug it in. I'm going to plug it in.
I would. I
don't want everybody out there in YouTube world to hear me play, though. But, Glenn, thanks for bringing this thing in.
Cool.
Where can we see your other guitars at?
GuitarBazaar.net, and if you go to the Apple Store or to the Google Play Store, you can download the Guitar Bazaar app. Just search for Guitar Bazaar.
Search for it, guys.
Good app.
Thanks for watching. Later.
See ya.